Holy smokes. XRP is not a joke. A poorly done video. I had no intention of creating an XRP video today. When the news broke, I remarked, I have to jump on the microphone while I'm putting all the stuff back into the suitcase because I'm flying back home today. They listened to me, Ripple. Following the announcement of Ripple's acquisition yesterday night, we received some significant news. Correct. We'll also discuss the recent huge announcement and what Ripple is doing at the moment, in addition to briefly discussing the acquisition and its implications. Additionally, they are paying attention to me, which might indicate really positive development for the price of XRP. In a moment, we will discuss why. All I ask is that you smile at me so that I can radiate those positive feelings. Smash the like button, Smishity. It is quite beneficial. It's free and I truly appreciate it. Do that now then. As usual, I would like to remind you that I would never advise you to buy, sell, or hold, because I have no idea how the markets will respond or what the price of XRP will do on a daily basis. Not financial advice, of course. Always conduct your own research before making an investment. As you can see, XRP had a spike to 239, but it dropped off along with the rest of the cryptocurrency market. The price of Bitcoin is 108,000. Ethereum was below 4,000 and 3,900. Once more, the cryptocurrency market hasn't been doing well lately. Isn't the end of October almost here already? And everything has gone very much as planned from the start. Last year, I warned you all to pay attention to what everyone was saying. Oh, October, October, October. We witnessed the entire October saga, but it never materialized. It may not arrive as well this year, and that's what took place. I offer you every possible scenario, and I always say, listen, I was right, but I'm not sure what will happen. All right, we don't know what Trump will say on a daily and weekly basis. We have no idea what the Chinese will do. That's a lot of what's going on in the market right now, but you'll want to watch it through to the very end because we discuss how, sitting on fiat and doing nothing could be the worst thing we can do. Of course, we will discuss that, all right? Thus, be sure to watch through to the very finish. Well, that's the big news, as well as something I have been hammering on the drums for a while now, essentially since Tom Lee first came out and began doing it, when it was just micros and his method, and Michael Saylor was more unknown. However, when Tom Lee began doing it in other firms, I thought, hey, hold on a minute. People ought to follow suit, correct? I even sent Brad a tweet. Thought, hey, Brad, how about you guys do this? And they appear to be on the verge of doing it. This is a report from Bloomberg, the company's Twitter accounts, isn't it? 10 million people, I guess. Claims that Ripple Labs is spearheading a campaign to raise at least $1 billion in order to amass XRP, the company's digital token. That's essentially what they are, what I'm considering, and what they intend to do here. And I came up with that concept. For the idea, perhaps I should ask some, charge, right? We'll see if they do it this way or in a different way. The plan was to branch out from Ripple, so they created a secondary company, raised money to buy XRP through that secondary company, and then went public with that firm, just like what happened with Tom Lee and BMNR. When a business repurchases shares, it's comparable to a buyback, isn't it? From an accounting perspective, this is comparable, but I'm not sure how they'll proceed because they stated that they don't want to go public. However, they might decide to start a new business or subsidiary, raise money through an IPO, and then purchase XRP. Of course, if they were purchasing more XRP, that would help the price of XRP. It operates that way, however, as you can see. Here we have a pop-up. It received a tiny boost on the news, but I believe that many people are in the United States or are asleep at the moment. After that, the market began to slightly decline. Once more, 1 billion is roughly 3% for XRP. Correct. If you go and check the XRP market capitalization, it is 140 billion. 1 billion is therefore not even 1%. Correct. The fact that it pops 3% on this news, it makes sense. I'm aware that many will ask, why isn't the price pop in? Well, liquidity is required. It must be taking advantage of this news. People are afraid or aren't buying in the algos at the moment. It is quite frightening, isn't it, if we go and look at the fear and greed index? 22. Whoa, is it the lowest? That's a little crazy. The lowest it has been during the entire cycle. Correct. When was it this low, I wonder? In April. Yes, it makes sense. Thus, we're essentially back to the anxiety of April. Additionally, XRP fell all the way to 163 in April at that time. Correct. Therefore, we are superior than it. And the price of Bitcoin was 75,000. This is a situation when you typically, though not always, experience this type of fear, Usually it appears. This is what we have seen in the past, but it does not imply that it will occur again. Alright, I now want to briefly discuss the acquisition that Ripple announced with the G Treasury last night. According to Paul Barron's prognosis, correct? By purchasing G Treasury, Ripple just made a $1 billion move. They're going beyond simply joining the corporate treasury market. They are handling trillions of dollars in capital and introducing XRPL to Fortune 500 finance teams. Real-time, round-the-clock cryptocurrency payments will soon be accepted by legacy systems. The change in financial infrastructure is happening more quickly than anyone anticipated. Consider what would occur in this situation. Suppose a large corporation has to make a payment. I'm not sure. Microsoft must be paid by Apple or something similar. On weekends, the banks are also closed. Well, they are no longer required to do it. Over the weekend, they can move funds between the businesses and go via G Treasury. Correct. So it will be really interesting to watch what might occur. Vincent Van Code adds, I'm pretty sure nobody in the crypto Twitter community even knows what this is. This is a condensed explanation. G Treasuries offers software that helps global firms manage cash flow, liquidity, and payments, among other things. The software integrates with payment and banking systems like ISO 2022 compliance and SWIFT. Thus, the acquisition enables Ripple to integrate digital assets into the $100 trillion treasury market, in addition to standard custody and trust and hidden road. Big corporations don't need to buy XRP from Ripple. It's only a portion of the plumbing. Well, the UI and SAS remain unchanged. It just indicates that Ripple is gradually releasing faster and more effective rails. The game is that. According to Brad's announcement, Ripple is acquiring G Treasury for $1 billion today, which will allow it to enter the $120 trillion corporate treasury payments market. The industry has been reminded in recent years why payments are the main use for blockchain and cryptocurrency. Ripple was founded on payments for just these reasons. The complicated and inefficient infrastructure is, as we know, well-positioned to take advantage of decentralized financial technologies. Unimaginable sums of money are stuck in antiquated payment systems, causing annoyance, needless expenses, and obstacles to breaking into new markets. For decades, G Treasury has provided services to some of the most well-known companies. Now, in partnership with Ripple, we will be able to assist CFOs in managing all of their assets, including tokenized deposits, stablecoins, and more, at a global scale. We will also be able to help them use their ideal capital to work with repo markets through the hidden road. This is the moment. We're going all in. Isn't it happening? Press release from Ripple. XRP has some really big news. Well, and it will be fascinating to observe how all of this plays out in the long run, isn't it? Brief. I have no idea what the market will do over the next few days. I appreciate you watching. Next time, I hope to see you. Let's make a lot of money, as I usually say.